The road to the Derby starts here with the four-year-old series kicking off on Sunday with the first leg, the Hong Kong Classic Mile. A very warm welcome to Racing to Win, your one-stop shop for Hong Kong racing. I'm Andrew Lejeune, joined here in the studio by Paul Lally, our form analyst, and race caller Brett Davis as well. And Brett, looks like we've got a scratching, an important one as well in good standing. We're going to have a very short price favourite though for the feature. We are, Andrew. Yes, interesting of course for the Classic Mile, which was elevated to a $10 million prize purse a couple of seasons ago. Group 1 status since 1999-2000, and of course part of the Classic Series, the four-year-old Classic Series. It's a great race to win, and as you say, we're going to have a short price favourite. 5 of the last 8 favourites have won the race. I think at the moment Nothing I Like More is about $1.40. If you go back to 1996, Mr Vitality won it at that price. He's the shortest I could find, so it's going to be something similar, I would have thought, on the day. There's going to be a few short ones actually later on in the programme, Paul, aren't there? And some decent jackpots as well. Yeah, there's a $1.7 million jackpot in the Triple Trio, 1.5 in the 6-up win bonus as well. As you said, the last 3 favourites or last 3 races all look odds-on chances. Penguin Spark will probably come up pretty short. I know there's been a big bet going on, easy go, easy win at this stage, so that's just changed the market. But I think Penguin Spark will end up starting close to odds on. As you mentioned, Nothing I Like More, and also in the last Conti will start probably the shortest price of the afternoon. Yeah, so it could be 3 or 4 odds-on shots throughout the course of the afternoon. Mentioned good standings out of the Classic Mile. He's lame left hind, so it's a big disappointment for John Moore and his team. As far as the other horses, California Archers, actually another ride of Tommy Berry's is out. Race number 6, number 12, California Archer for Michael Friedman. Travel Day Took is now in. Alvin Ung in the saddle. And Penang Hall was withdrawn, as was Good Standing. So race 8, number 8, Penang Hall, and Good Standing out of the Classic Mile. All right, Sunday's programme, 10 races on the turf, and we're on the A course as well. Really strong finish to the card. It's a interesting start with a number of debutants in the first race. 1,000-metre dash here. It's a Class 4. Kingston 1 have his second start for Mi Choi. Lucky Volatility makes his debut, as does Pleasant Guy, Thou Shall Sing, Very Sweet Orange, and Victory March. Those are debutants. Lucky Coin drops back to the 1,000 metres. Butte Butte behind Golden Dash last time out, as was Hot Pepper, and down to Sky Raider. It's been going around at a big price. He's eligible for Class 5 there, off 40. Of the newcomers, Andrew, Lucky Volatility's the 4-year-old. The others are all 3-year-olds. And Very Sweet Orange probably has the most speed. He's a very keen horse in the mornings, and he's likely to be up there with Hot Pepper, Noble Delight. Thou Shall Sing can probably race handy with Butte. You'd expect the pace to be at least good, maybe good to fast for the first. Let's have a look at some of these first starters. Lucky Volatility, the first one, he's had 4 trials since he's got here. He had 4 trials in Oz prior to that, so he's had 8 trials. 11.69. Derek Lung aboard for this gallop, and he'll take them out. He's got an awkward draw though, barrier 1 on debut. Thou Shall Sing, now he won a race, a trial in Taupo in New Zealand before he got here, most impressively. He's had 4 trials since he's got here, and just finished in behind them in most ones, so he hasn't really been let go yet. Very Sweet Orange, this is him on the outside. He's very keen horse, as Brett mentioned, in the mornings, and in his races he's been very keen as well. As you can see, he's having a good look around, so he's quite a green horse, but he's got ability. All right, OK, we'll come back and have a look at him in a trial in a second. We'll start off, though, with what was actually a very rough race here. Butte fares best in 5th, but maybe a couple of excuses. Noble Delight was pretty disappointing. Yeah, I thought he weakened out quite timidly in the end, Andrew, so I'm happy to sit on the fence with the mount for Joe Moreira, who maybe benefited from the run. He got a clip there, maybe on his heels too, probably didn't help him much. No, there's a few in the race that had excuses. I thought Butte and Hot Pepper actually stuck on reasonably well, and Hot Pepper goes from gate 1 to gate 11, so I think that's a real positive for him, but we have seen a lot of him, so it's again throwing him into the mix with all of these newcomers, but I think he can run a reasonable race. Yeah, I'll put him in. I mean, they're the yardstick, aren't they, Butte and Hot Pepper, because they're sort of consistent running 3rds, 4ths, 5ths. So if these first starters are any good, then they can win. If they're not, then obviously they're the 2. Yeah, and then you've got to throw into the mix greenness and stuff like that, which we saw in that race, caused a lot of congestion and some unlucky stories. All right, well, let's have a look at some of the first starters with Thou Shall Sing, with the first one we have a look at, and hear from his jockey, Nash Rawiller.
Nash, Thou Shall Sing, he's had 4 trials, you've ridden him in all of them. What sort of feel does he give you?
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. He's still sort of at a stage where he's only going to improve with racing, I'm sure, but you know, he's done sort of everything right in his trials. He's given me a great feel, and he's still a little bit highly strung and things like that. So it'll be interesting sort of how he handles the occasion of going to the races. But look, he's not. You know, he has got a nice attitude. He's just still a bit highly strung, and he's going to get better with racing. But he's got, you know, natural ability.
He's drawn 12 of 14 down the straight. Tactics-wise, where would you see him?
He should take up a position. You know, he's been jumping well in his trials and showing enough speed that he can sort of make his own luck, and you know, he'll be competitive in what he's shown us on the trials.
And Ash making some positive noises there. That trial was on the all-weather, of course, but I thought his turf trial was okay too.
His turf trial was very good. His trial in New Zealand is the only time I've seen him being let go. And if you get a chance to see that one, when he was a 2-year-old before he got here, he just absolutely blew them away. And the horses in that trial have come out on one.
That last trial on the turf where he finished 4th, just that last 100 metres he really sort of darted late. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what he's got.
We've seen these Chris So first starters as well that don't show up at the trials. They're well educated. And that's what this horse has done, so I think he's going to be very tough to beat.
All right, so he looks like he's ready to go. Lucky Volatility is the next one we'll have a look at. Also trialling on the all-weather. He's had 4 trials coming into this race.
Yeah, one is most recent one, which is the one we're looking at here. You can see him, he's got a real sort of reaching action. Just niggled at final stages to pick up the speed. I get the feeling that he's going to go into the race not too far away from sort of fitness, but I feel that he may be looking for further, just the way he sort of keeps grinding there. The sort of shorter trip might be a little bit sharp for him, for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, I haven't got him in. That's what I'm trying to say.
Watch on him. Very sweet orange, though. What about him? He's shown a bit of speed in his 3 trials.
Yeah, I'm going to throw him in, Andrew. I'm going to put him on top because he'll be out in front. He'll be up with the hot peppers and probably buttes and so forth. And if there is any sort of, you know, greenness behind and some traffic congestions, he won't have to bother with that. This horse has been here for a long time. He's been in work since March, April of last year. There was a gap there where he had about 6 weeks off and just did a whole lot of swimming, but he's been well prepared, I think, for his debut. He'll jump, he'll run, and he'll run a big race, I think. Whether or not he can find under pressure the last 100, that's probably the question mark.
Yeah, I've got him in there as well, because the problem I've got with him is he's green and he does pull a lot. So if something takes him on, he could fire it.
All right, but Thou Shalt Sing, that's Compo's favourite here, Paul.
Yeah, I've got him on top. I really like this horse. I've liked it. I just really think he's been really well educated by Chris So. They've kept him in behind, and once he's got into the clear, he's hit the line very strongly. And his trial behind Golden Dash he could have easily beaten Golden Dash, and Golden Dash came out and won on debut. So he's on top to beat the other debut runner, Very Sweet Orange. Then the first starters, Hot Pepper and Butte. But I really like the 5 in this.
I think I've got the same 4 as Paul, just a slightly different order. I'm going to go with the 6. I think he'll jump, he'll run, he'll be up there. And yes, he may be vulnerable with 100, 200 to go, but then again, he might be able to find what's required as well. He'll be in the right spot. I'd rather have one up in the van rather than sort of back in the field over 1,000. 11 Butte and 12 Hot Pepper, the same reasons as Paul. They're the yardsticks, and they've both got speed to be forward, and Thou Shalt Sing will be the one closing in. May well be good enough to close in over the top. So 6, 11, 12, 5.
All right, the only difference for me, I've got actually the 11, 12 on top, but Noble Delight, I think he's got an excuse out of that Golden Dash race to include him as well.